I'm from Isiama. In the 1960s, there were large coconut plantations in Isiama. And there was a big oil factory by Dr. Kakuchiyama in Isiama. Isiama even had coin-operated telephone booths. Do you believe that in the 1960s, Isiama had coin-operated telephone booths? Isiama had potable water. What happened over the years? Gold, bauxite, manganese, oil, gas, cocoa, coffee, timber, rubber, palm fruits, palm oil, coconut oil, plantain, and the list of things produced in the Western region goes on and on. Nanache, I live in Accra and cannot travel to Isiama in my saloon car. I have to use a 4x4. And even with that, the drive is very stressful because of the state of the roads. In some places, you cannot believe that the road was once asphalted. From Takoradi to Isiama is most times better to drive on the road, on the sides of the road, the shoulders. Sometimes you will have to avoid the road itself and drive on the sides. Even though it is risky, that is much better. As for going to Sefiyo also and beyond, you have to brace yourself for an adventure. To sum up the state of affairs in the Western region, I would like to quote what a friend I took to Newtown asked me. Newtown is beyond Hafasni. There's a border, it's a border town. This friend asked me, are we in Ghana? There are no roads. We drove in the sand. The school buildings are a sorry sight. Most of the towns have no potable water. Abandoned drains, culverts, and gutters have become death traps. And along the road, you see people walking long distances because only a few vehicles ply those roads. Awulaimo, Nananom, Nanahimanom, ladies and gentlemen, we have all known for a long time that our region has been neglected, that our region is helpless, that we have no legacy, that we are leaving anybody. But my question is, why has it taken us so long to come together and deliberate on how we can change this narrative? Yes, we have met in pockets. We have met in some fashion and talked about these same issues. But have we met as a serious group to deliberate? Are we happy to let the region degenerate? Is there something that is preventing us? Or are we in denial? Whatever it is, we have let our people down. The chiefs, the clergy, civil society, the media, we have all given the people of Western region reason not to take us serious and not to trust us. Now, let me hit you, all of you sitting here, and I'll take on the chiefs. Awulaimo, Nananom, Nanabahimanom, Bawoko, Betepa. Where have you been? Where have you been when all the lands are being taken over by Galamsey? Some say that you have sold our lands. Some say that you have fronted for big men in Accra, in Takoradi, in Ho, even in America, even in China. And some even say that you have been given huge amounts of money. Nananum, Awulaimo. As for me, Nanamanye, Bosa, who tend a misata, I don't even see the huge amounts of monies on you. I don't see it in your buildings. I don't see it in the way you dress. I don't see it anywhere. But did you collect those huge amounts? Or the small amounts just to allow our waters to be polluted and our lands depleted? What is left of the lands that our forefathers guarded so jealously? And how faithful have you been as custodians of the lands? Are there any clergy here? Are there any clergy here? You didn't invite the clergy. Well, by to get to them. Western region has lots of them. The prophets, prophetess, and all the so-called international churches and whatever. Where have you all been all this time? The clergy, you look on as if nothing is happening. I wonder if you use the same road I came on from Accra to Busia. Why have you lost your voices? Instead of teaching the truth, the unadulterated word, it's all about what will make you popular. So, it's all signs and wonders. And now people ask, Osofi Oshenkoma, Onshenkoma Wonko, Oshenkoma Oboko, and you glory in that. And the poor congregation follow without questioning. And they are made even poorer. Why you, the clergy, become richer? The clergy, my question is, how have you been faithful in looking after what has been entrusted to you? And are you at all worried, the clergy from Western region, are you worried about the state of affairs? And do you also know that each of us is accountable to what is entrusted to us? Civil society, are you here? You are supposed to be the voice of the people. Instead of making victims' voice heard and the rights of all respected, most of you are nowhere to be found. Why you banner say? When we need you most, we can't find you. As for the media, you hear what you want to hear. And you decide to say what you want to say. And it is what will sell your papers, your station, that you talk about. You don't even blink an eye. And you can twist and turn what is said, because you always twist and turn what I say. And when I ask, you say that you only put out what will sell. You are accountable. Whatever you say about somebody, about something, remember, your duty is to educate and to inform. Well, gathering, let's wait and see and hear how this conference will be reported across the various media. And some of you, it will shock you at the things that they will highlight. Because for them, it is what will sell their papers, what will make people listen. Some media people don't even care if their reportage is destroying people. And for those of you, the media, who are from Western region, it is your duty to make sure that you speak the truth. You highlight important things. And at a gathering like this, don't be sensational and highlight important things and bring to the fore information that will let people know exactly, not just what is being done here, but the truth about what pertains. Because the truth will not only set all of us free, but you, the media, the truth will go a long way in letting us believe in you. How faithful have we all been in looking after what has been entrusted to us? Each of us, in our small way, how have we been faithful? Have we each done the best we can do? Have we each done the right things all the time? Most times we blame somebody else. Government is the first we blame. Of course, we voted for them to lead us, so it is good that we blame them first. But as you blame the government, blame yourselves. Because each of us sitting here works somewhere, lives somewhere, interacts somewhere. And if each of us do the right thing all the time, if each of us is faithful in what we've been given, if each of us care, we will not find ourselves where we are now. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we are taking the first steps of talking, deliberating, and reaching a consensus, let me extend my congratulations to the organizers for putting this conference together. Our elders say, Sankofa, yes, there's indeed no harm in going back to correct things. So, the Anakoblanketia, the Fourth Trust, congratulations, and thank you so much for this conference. And hopefully, that is what is beginning here in Busia these 3 days, to go back, take, and 10 things. But I shudder to think what will happen after this conference. Reason why I shudder, there are many reports of very well-meaning fora that are gathering dust in cupboards and on shelves all over the country. If you like, for each conference that is being held, more than 2 have been held already. And you can go and check up on this. I hope and pray that this one will not suffer the same fate. If the next steps are not taken, and the next steps are of ensuring that the Busia consensus will be adopted, if this is not done, then all the work these 3 days will be an exercise in futility. If we are to change the narrative in the Western region, then this conversation must not end here in Busia. The conversation must go on, and people must see things as they are and buy into the consensus. The conversation must reach far for the decision makers to hear and engage people to take steps to implement inclusive and equitable development in the Western region and in other regions. I wish you all well and pray that you will work together as one people, not as people from one district, people from one party, and so on, because that is what is killing us in this region. It is Western region. It is not districts. It is not municipalities. It is not churches. It is Western region, one people who have come together to try and make things work and to try and find solutions. So every morning in your room, leave your identity in your room and come here only knowing that we are together going to forge ahead. We are together determined that this, if anything, should be the last of such meetings we are having, and that we're not going to top shock again. We can only ensure that this region is given the necessary recognition as the producer of the bulk of our minerals, cash crops, and starchy crops, if we forge ahead together, and if at the end of this meeting here, we come out united, solidly behind the Busia consensus, and we push it forward. The Busia consensus has to be operationalized. How do we operationalize it? It is the duty of each of us here, each one of you here, has to see this happen. If you are here, it means you are committed to seeing this happen. And so, if it doesn't happen, then it is a failure on your part. I know that each of us want it to happen. In fact, we want it to happen yesterday. So I wish you well. and pray for God's guidance and pray for unity and love and ask that even though it's taking us all this while, today will be a turning point. Today in the history of Western region will be a day that we'll be happy about. Thank you so much. God bless you.